Let's face it, burnout was bad before 2020, but the pandemic put a lot of pastors over the edge. And now we've got some research that shows that it's only gotten worse. That's an exciting way to start a program, isn't it? Oh my goodness, pastoral pandemic burnout in 2024. Yes, it's a thing, and we're going to talk about it here today on the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. My name is Todd Rhodes. I'm one of the co-founders over at chemistrystaffing.com, and want to look at some stats that just came out. 87% of pastors said the pandemic made their job harder. I'm surprised it's that low. I'm surprised. I've not talked to anybody literally that has not been challenged over the past almost coming up on 4 years, believe it or not. I think everybody, just about 87%, I guess, is a good majority, but the pandemic made our job harder. And I think for many, it continues to be harder. The church is just a different beast after what we've gone through in the past 4 years. 72% said that they are considering quitting or have considered quitting in the past 4 years. And a lot of this has to do with just plain old burnout, feeling exhausted, lacking motivation, feeling maybe even kind of cynical about your work. It's not just having a bad day, but it's an extended period of extreme stress. Pastoral burnout is more than fatigue. It can really cause you to lose sight of your calling. And I've had a front row seat over the past 3 years, going on 4, in working with churches as I do as one of the co-founders at Chemistry Staffing. We're constantly talking to churches that are looking to hire. We're constantly talking to church staff people that are in transition or are looking at a new role. And here's the way I put it, and I don't know if it's helpful or not, but hopefully it will be. Or else why listen, right? This is the way I've kind of communicated it. I've not met any pastor over the past few years that has not just said, I'm tired. Everybody's been tired. But I like to say that not everybody's just tired. Some people are more than tired, and they get burned out, a little bit burned out. Okay? Burned out is a little bit more severe than tired. But when they get burned out, a lot of times, if they're not careful, not only are they burned out, but they're angry. And then if they're angry, it just gets worse to they become resentful. And it's a quick slope to get from tired to resentful. It's a really quick path. You get tired, you get exhausted, you burn out, you get angry, you get resentful. And there are a lot of reasons. The COVID and the pandemic was just a perfect storm. I mean, there's all the COVID fears. I mean, we had never lived through anything like this in our history, in our lives. There was political division. Oh my goodness, political division. Look at the social isolation and the social division that's happened. There's been financial strain. There's been, if you're a pastor that counsels a lot, you probably had a lot more of a counseling overload, just being pulled in every which way. We like to say a lot of times that some pastors in churches, just for a period of a couple of years during that pandemic period, could not do anything right. I mean, do we wear masks? Do we not wear masks? Do we meet in person? Do we not meet in person? Everything was up for criticism. And add to that just a lack of control and a lack of community, a lack of fairness, and just the dividing mismatch of values in our culture. And so that was some of the causes, but some of the effects that I've seen in pastors over and over again. I mean, depression, anxiety, just that emotional exhaustion, the detachment from people that comes as a result of that. And then when you get tired and you've just been going for so long and so hard, eventually you have to kind of pay the piper. There's reduced productivity. And if you're not careful, your family suffers, and you get to the point where you just dread going to work every day. and the long-term impacts. The pastors who don't resign a lot of times end up getting bitter and cynical and hopeless, and congregations lose trust. It's really a spiral. And yes, this, Todd, we should be over this. It's been 3 years. We should be over this. Yeah, but we're not. We're not. And we get it. It's been a hard period. So what can we do? Churches, what can churches do for staff people? What can your board do for you, pastor? And I know it's hard to ask for these things, but if you're in a position where you can offer some of these things, it makes a huge difference. What I'm going to call some radical care for pastors. Pastors need some time away. Maybe it's an official sabbatical. Maybe it's a couple of days off. Maybe it's providing some counseling or some opportunities to network with some other peer groups. But come on now, we've got to stop with all these Superman expectations of our pastors and everybody on our staff. You can do it for a short period of time, and good for you when you're able to do it for a short period of time, but you will hit a wall and you will bounce off of it hard if you try to be Superman for an extended period of time. So what can you do? Todd, it's like you've been reading my email, because it seems like I should be over this, but I'm not. I'm still tired and I'm still worn out. What can I do? Let me offer a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of advice. Maybe just some simple changes. You can't change everything. You can't change everything overnight, but maybe some simple changes in your routine and your mindset can really be a powerful tool to help you get out of this burnout that you might be feeling. Set some boundaries. Don't be afraid to accept some help. Take some time off. Prioritize some self-care. Make sure that you're healthy. Learn to say no. You can't say yes to everything and everybody. Take some time to reconnect with some of your peers, and really try and find some meaning against all this adversity and this hard time. And let's just be honest here. Are you using your vacation? I know a lot of pastors that have vacation and don't use it. I know some other pastors that take more vacation than what they get. But I mean, you're not saving anybody if you're leaving 20 days of PTO in your PTO bank. Don't try and be a hero. Use your vacation and take that time off. Take a Sabbath every week. God kind of prescribed that as for healthy living. So pick a day and just disconnect, and make sure during this time, a lot of times when we're stressed, the first thing that kind of falters is our family and our relationship with our spouses and our kids. Make sure that you really invest in that. We can really build deeper community through this crisis. We did see that happen some during the beginning of the pandemic. Suffering a lot of times produces that perseverance and character that we need. And it's just really burdensome to me, because I've seen a lot of people that are just really, really hurting. Preventing burnout, think of it as an act of stewardship. Your well-being enables you to serve others. And honestly, if you're not at your best, you're not leading well, and your church is going to suffer as well. Your witness really depends on a healthy and hopeful outlook. And it really has to start today. You really, if you're burned out, if you're just in that COVID funk and you're trying to figure out, do I really want to do this anymore? Man, you can either lean in or you can kind of sit back. And if you sit back, it's not going to get any better. Lean in, find out exactly what God wants you to do. Get some help, talk to some peers. Email me if you need somebody to talk to. I'd be happy to talk with you. You can email me anytime at podcast@chemistrystaffing. That's podcast@chemistrystaffing. If you're resonating with this and just want to give a word of encouragement to me, I would appreciate that too. So I hope this has been helpful, but if anything, just know, hey, we are still seeing in individuals and in churches, we are still seeing the aftermath of what has happened in the past 3 and 4 years. And it's going to continue. It's changed a lot of things, and it will continue to change your church. It'll continue to change you. Be encouraged today, though, my friend. I'm Todd, and this is the Healthy Church Staff Podcast. Hope you'll join us again tomorrow. And until then, have a great day.